My son was brutally killed. As his father, I was less than 10 meters away, yet I could do nothing at all. Anger and helplessness surged in my chest, but when the killer faced trial, I stood before the judge and actively cleared the murderer of all charges. The crowd present was stunned. After attending the school ice hockey game, I drove past the gas station. My son Brandon just needed to buy a bottle of water. Brandon had just walked into the convenience store when a group of robbers followed closely behind. They wore masks and held weapons. Without a word, they took down the shopkeeper. Brandon, who was nearby, was terrified. I ran toward him. Unexpectedly, I was hit and knocked flying by a customer in a hurry to escape. It seemed these men weren't there to rob. Brandon was only a teenager. He said no threat to them at all, but egged on by his accomplices, a young gang member still took out a machete and brutally killed the innocent Brandon. I grabbed one of the gang members who hadn't gotten in the car yet, the very killer from just now. In the struggle, I pulled off his mask and saw his true face. He was still a kid, an image I'd never forget for the rest of my life. Unfortunately, he still managed to get away. I didn't chase him. Instead, I rushed into the store to save my son. By then, Brandon's throat had been slit. Blood was pouring out. I took my son to the hospital, hoping to save his life, but only a few minutes later, the doctor announced Brandon's death. Soon after, the police arrested several suspects. I recognized the killer at a glance. But then, the police gave me another bad news. There were no cameras at the gas station where the incident happened, so no substantial evidence was left. As the only witness, and the victim's father, my testimony wouldn't be admissible. The killer would most likely be acquitted. What made me even angrier, the killer didn't kill for the robbery. The murder, just a ritual for him to join a gang.
Are you saying that Brendan was killed so that some asshole could feel more like a man? So that he could be in some club?
I saw the killer who murdered my son again. He quickly noticed my gaze too. Our eyes met, and the killer even made a shooting gesture at me. So when the judge asked about a plea deal, I chose to give up testifying, which meant the killer would be acquitted. When the gang members heard the news, they all came to celebrate for him. Watching their victory celebration, my heart ached beyond words. I sat in my car by the road, quietly memorizing the faces of all the gang members. I went back home, ready to get a suitable weapon. Pawn from the basement, I was going to avenge my son with my own hands.